stage with a pint, I always think to myself, they're very confident, aren't they? They're very confident. Because when are they going to drink that pint? Not going to drink it when they're talking, are they? No. So they're sort of banking on people laughing, aren't they? But what if they don't laugh? What if they only laugh for like a second? And then you just start drinking little sips. You look a right fucking muppet, don't you? And then you got those comedians who are like, you know, put the pint almost too far away from the mic stand, don't they? Very high risk strategy, that. Things might be going well, tell a few jokes, get a few laughs, reach down and get your pint. Silence, isn't it? A bit like this. And then all of a sudden, you're just a middle-aged man squatting on a stage in a silly hat. In front of a group of people who, best case, think you're a cunt. Worst case, are wondering whether they should come on stage and help you get back up again. And if it's a very full pint, you've got to stand up really slowly, very embarrassing, because you don't want to spill it, do you? So that's what I always think. When you see a comedian come on stage with a pint in their hand, I always think they're very confident, aren't they? Very confident. Either that or very arrogant. Luckily, I'm not a comedian. My name's Glen Shirley, and I've been invited here tonight to give you a lecture on stress management and how to cope with anxiety. Is that right? Good. Because, you know, we're all living through some very scary times, aren't we, at the moment? You know, you've got climate change, you've got COVID, now it's fucking Putin, isn't it? Very, very scary times, isn't it? I don't know about you, but it's doing my fucking swinging, right? So I thought to myself, I thought, Glenn, how can you, with your vast knowledge of psychology and childhood trauma, and, you know, working in Greg's and that, how can you reach out and help people who over the past couple of years got to go a little bit chicken oriental, right? And more importantly, how can I make money out of these muppets? And I thought, I know, I'll give therapy a go. We're not getting it, obviously, or fucking natter, am I? You know, or an American, you know. But I thought, you know, you've probably all seen, have you all seen a TED Talk? You know what TED Talks are, right? Yeah. So some of you may have even seen a TED Talk, right? If you haven't seen one, basically what a TED Talk is, they're like inspirational lectures, normally delivered by some fucking cunt in a beard with a polo neck and glasses, and they're all about kind of like inspiring you to achieve your life goal. Might be reading, they might be writing a novel. I'll be reading a novel. So what I've done, right, is, I've seen, what I did, I watched a couple of TED Talks. Well, I watched one, I watched about like 5 minutes of the TED Talk where I've got my fucking tips, right? But the point is, it inspired me to come up with my own series of lectures called Git Talks, right? What the fuck are Git Talks? I hear you ask. Well, I'm going to fucking tell you, aren't I? So a Git Talk, basically, keep it simple, they're all about generating income through tragedy. Right? And, you know, we are living through some very stressful times, quite anxious times. And those anxieties, they might be global, they might be about war, they might be about pandemics, there might be something a bit smaller, a bit more personal. You know. Like, I got a flat on the M4 the other day. It's got 2 bedrooms and one where there's got a nice suite, but it's fucking noisy, really fucking noisy, really stresses me out, right? So I thought, what I'll do is I'll write a book, and what the fuck is wrong with this life? So this Git Talk tonight, right, is taken from my latest book, Glen Shirley's Guide to Unbattering your head. So I thought I'll write a book because it is very stressful times and that, you know. And so I've condensed over 30 minutes of research into this book, right? And I'm going to share some of that with you tonight. And in that book, I've got 4 golden rules to stop you going a little bit too loud. Do you want to hear them? Yeah. Do you want to fucking hear them? Yeah. Right. Fucking hell. Take this fucking microphone. Right. Golden rule number 1, very simple. Deep breathing. Right? When you're feeling stressed, when you're feeling anxious, very important to take a deep breath in through the mouth, preferably through one of these. Or deep breath in through the nose, like this. Sort you right out. Rule number 2. Friends and family. Very important, right? If you're feeling a little bit low, a little bit depressed, best thing to do is to isolate yourself from your friends and your family, because no one likes hanging around with a miserable cunt, do they? No. Right. Rule number 3. Well-being and emotional health. That was a gamble. Right. If you buy my book, which is available from me upstairs from the suitcase, $24.99. See me after the show. If you buy my book, Glen Shirley's Guides from Battery in Your Head, what you get is a 90-day free subscription to my podcast, which is all about wellness, long-lasting, ongoing peace. Or as I like to call it, Wallop. And in each episode of Wallop, what I do is I share some techniques to help you feel centered, to help you feel connected to the world. And I end each episode with a guided meditation, which is basically me reading stuff out in a slow voice, a calm voice, like a Jack Reacher novel, or Andy McNab, something like that. Whatever's handy, whatever's around, you know. So I read that out in a soft voice, and my narration is accompanied by some nice ambient sounds. Distant trains in the background, maybe some rainfall, roadworks, police sirens, boxes shagging, boxes being run over. Could be anything. Could be anything at all. But the point is, there's the 2 things combined to help you feel more centered and more completely reconnected with the world. Now, you will not find my podcast on Spotify or iTunes or any of them streaming services, but for £10 a month, you can get it free letterbox in a gift bag on a cassette. Alright? So that is golden rule number 3. Golden rule number 4 is about... Are you fucking making notes? Who's making notes here? Fucking hell, I'm not wasting my time here. No one's writing anything down. Golden rule number 4 is about the inner child. Now, Carl Jung came up with the concept of the inner child in 1959, and what he said was he argued that the inner child is basically an unconscious sub-personality of like what we went through when we were young, what we experienced when we were a child. So in other words, if you're a right mopey bastard, then it's probably because somebody did something terrible to you when you was a child. Probably in school, maybe in a church, right? So what we psychologists like to do, right? You've got to reconnect with that inner child through a process of what we call reparenting, right? So you've got to find that inner child, give it a bit of a fucking slap, tell it not to be a fucking mug. Alright? Very simple. And my experience has been that the best way to find that inner child is through drinking 17 cans of Red Stripe and half a litre of vodka. Right? Best way to find it. And, top tip, if you're in a park, then the 2 of you can play in the swings, can't you? Until the police arrive, anyway. So lectures coming up next month. It's all about how feminism, the role feminism can play in the global sex trafficking trade. It's called... What? It's called Sexual Slavery and it's called Sexual Slavery, Liberation and Gender Survival, or SLAGS. So anyway, my name's Glen Shirley. Stay lucky. Glen Shirley Management.